Hey lovelies, it's Sarah here. Today I'm going to be giving you my honest rundown on two awesome sites that I use to get artwork for creating fabric designs and also print-on-demand products. I use these sites nearly every single day, so I've had a lot of experience with using them, and recently I have been swinging a little bit more towards one than the other. So today I'm going to be showing you exactly which one this is and why, and showing you a little bit of a rundown on both sites and also giving you a few tips onto how you can use both these sites to their best advantage to get the artwork that you need for either your fabric printing or print-on-demand products or anything else that you need graphics for that matter. So stick around. As you know, I talk a lot about creating fabric and print-on-demand products from home just using my computer, and I either purchase or create my own artwork for these. And in my videos I'm talking about this whole process to do with, you know, either creating fabric and also creating print-on-demand. They're both kind of like very similar because you need the, you know, the fabric printing or the seamless pattern designs and stuff for the print-on-demand as well. So they kind of have a reasonably big overlap in there. So if you're interested in this process, hit subscribe, send me a message, tell me what you're doing so I know roughly what sort of videos and things you would like to see. I use programs like Inkscape, Critter, and some of the more free programs that are available online. And yeah, anyway, let's get started. So today I'm reviewing the wonderful Creative Market and Creative Fabrica. Both sites are amazing. I have used them extensively over, you know, the last couple of years, and I've had a lot of back and forth with both of their you know, their design teams, the moderators and things that are behind the sites, and they have been excellent. Mostly answering licensing concerns and questions, but yeah, they have been absolutely fantastic, and I would highly recommend both sites from a professional basis. They're both very professional in what they do and how they respond to their customers. So as I said, most of my questions to them have been to do with licensing, because I don't want to breach anyone's copyright, and you should be really concerned about that too. I'm sorry to put a little bit about this in the beginning of the video. You can skip like 30 seconds if you really have to, but make sure you're very careful when you're getting artwork off the internet to make sure you're not breaching copyright concerns, because just because it says a digital product does not mean you can use it for print on demand. Okay, check your license, go back to your provider of your artwork and double check, and I will explain exactly why in the next little bit of this video. Okay guys, so here we are inside the Creative Market homepage. A few things that I love about Creative Market. One is if you pay for like $100 worth of credit for the site, you get some extra, and I have done this a couple of times as well. Sometimes they have freebies. Every week there's 6 products that you can download. I don't always find them very helpful, but they do have free products that you can download, and certainly check out the quality and things of those. Thank you, Pizza Hut, trying to sell me pizza. Sorry about that. Anyway, so that's really excellent. The other thing that I really like about Creative Market is you can create collections. So you've got a likes tab where you can like you know, all the artwork. Isn't that beautiful? There's some really pretty things in here that you can get, and you can create collections. So I've got some here, like real contenders. Sorry. Okay, some of the labels of these are a bit crap. Wishlist, Nutcracker, because I was doing some Nutcracker fabric. I should show you guys that. Gymnastics, because daughter, Christmas, Halloween, some dance bags, some accent things, and as you can see, I've got quite a lot of these here. Yeah, there's quite a few. Let's just quickly zip into here for the moment, and we will just click on this, just a random one. Okay, so here we are. You get your asset, your digital asset here in Creative Market, and some interesting information about whatever it might be that you need. You can, in Creative Market, you can message the artwork provider as well as the Creative Market as a whole. So if you've got questions for the creator, you can put creator questions there, as well as messaging Creative Market itself. Now, down the side here, we have licenses. You have a personal use license. That's fairly obvious. Don't use that if you're selling it. But if you are using that to create fabric for yourself, and you print that out and use stuff, to make your kids' clothes, that's perfectly fine. I've asked that question before, but if you're concerned, always check with the Creative Market themselves. I've done that before, so that was fine. But if you're then going to be selling those products you make from that fabric, then you might have some issues and you're going to need a different license. So you've got commercial and an extended commercial. And as you can see, that gets quite pricey if you want to buy, lots and lots of artwork. But if you're wanting to make one beautiful fabric and you're going to be selling, like 200 meters of that or something, well, $87 isn't really, a huge outlay, I guess, for that. But if you're only going to be, selling 1 or 2 bags made out of that particular fabric, yeah, that gets a little pricey. But it's what the artwork is worth for the designer and for the website. So commercial and extended commercial. So let's go and have a look at what these license terms are. So we click on what are these licenses, and okay, here we are. So personal, we won't bother with that because that's really not what we're talking about. But you see here, commercial use license, and it says for digital end products. So you think, yay, let's use that for print on demand. No, you can't. So let's look up the full license terms and conditions. And we scroll down, blah, 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 blah. Prohibited usage, end products, on-demand applications, print on demand, made to order, download on demand is not allowed. So you cannot use this for print on demand. I have asked a couple of times on a couple of questions of a few things, and I have been told no. So I can't use the artwork that I have purchased here for print on demand. Totally fine when I have the commercial use licenses and I printed out some fabric that used one of their designs, but it wasn't okay for printing onto mugs and things like that. And there's a few things in here about how many products you are allowed to use and so on and so forth. So that's that one. And where is the extended commercial? Here we go. Prohibited usages. Print on demand and create on demand services. So any use that allows someone other than the licensee to customize a digital or physical end product is prohibited. This includes, but is not limited to, print on demand, made to order, download on demand applications. So, but the artwork is glorious. And if you are from a artwork perspective, I think Creative Market has the edge on the quality of the designs. On Creative Market, if you are looking for top end, top grade designs, you can get some absolutely fantastic stuff on here. I have messaged designers before and asked if I can get something with a transparent background. Sure, no problems. And they've zipped it over to me and I'm like, oh wow, I wasn't expecting that. The artwork, on the whole, I think you get what you pay for. It's more expensive, and I think the artwork itself, you get a little bit more of those upper end designs and a little bit less of those lower quality designs. But the artwork in the middle is about the same. So let's go and have a little bit of a wee look over at Creative Fabrica. So obviously here we are in Creative Fabrica. Just going back to Creative Market, obviously make sure you go and check out those license terms for yourself. They've been extremely helpful to me whenever I've had any questions. So if you're concerned, go and have a little bit of a look. All right, so Creative Fabrica, amazing site. The customer service has been absolutely fantastic. They have followed up. They've asked me, when I've submitted a question, they've said, send me a copy of what you're doing. I want to see it. If you've got any other questions, let me know. They haven't answered emails over the weekend, but it was the weekend. But first thing Monday, or their Monday morning, because they're not on Australia time, so it was like Monday evening or Tuesday morning or something for me. There was a little email in my inbox telling me exactly what I could and couldn't use from whatever it was, and they're very happy to look at designs on your behalf. So I wanted to use some of their designs to create something for sale, and it needed to be, in this particular case, it needed to be significantly modified, and I just wanted to double check to make sure I'd done enough for it. And I sent it off to them, and they're like, yeah, sure, that's fine. So they've been really helpful. I've been very, very happy with their customer service. So Creative Fabrica, rather than purchasing individual designs from Creative Fabrica, you can also get a subscription, which I have. I don't like subscriptions. I hate them, because I always feel that I am not getting a good enough a deal from the subscription service. It's always like, oh yeah, I need it for this. Oh, well, now it's just a bit of a waste. No, I use this every single day. It's absolutely fantastic. And if you are, even just a sort of a casual designer like I am, then it is actually kind of worth it. It's like $1 for the first month, and then it's like, I think about $30 there too after, or you can get $12. There's different things you can get, and they have sales and all sorts on their bundles and things. And you can buy font bundles. You can also from Creative Market as well, but they have some absolutely amazing bundles and subscriptions. Okay, so what do I like about Creative Fabrica? So obviously, one, service. 2, product range. The range of products here is fantastic. They have some really high quality artwork. Let's just see if I can go and find something for you. Okay, so here we are, just some ballet designs and things like that. As I said, sometimes in Creative Fabrica there are some I'm not going to say lower quality designs, but they're for less flamboyant applications, shall we say. So people who are just looking for little icons, or something little for a website, or something that might not be absolutely mind-blowingly beautiful, but then you also get some really gorgeous pretty little artworks from here, and you get the same sort of descriptions. You can write reviews. I have never actually messaged a designer on here. I don't know if you can. Maybe you can, view profile. Obviously this is someone who I am following. Now I have a affiliate link from these guys, so if you subscribe to a subscription from the link down below, which I will leave, I do get a little bit of a kickback from Creative Fabrica, so please, that would be lovely. It helps me out, helps out my channel a lot. But they have just beautiful artwork, which you can download individually as well. And it's not as expensive as Creative Market, but I have the subscription, so I can download anything I want. Yeah, anything I want. Obviously there are some, you couldn't download, well, you probably could download everything. I'm sure there's some rules in there about saying that you can't download absolutely everything, but there is so much. Like, there is hundreds and thousands of designs on here, and they are absolutely gorgeous. So like, here's another little wee one. These are so cute. They've got little elements and pretty little designs, and they're just gorgeous. Okay. Licensing on Creative Fabrica. What is so good about the licensing on Creative Fabrica? Look here, print on demand. We can use it for print on demand. It's fantastic. So let's go and have a little wee look, read about the licenses on Creative Fabrica. So there's 2 different types. There's the ones if you get a single sales license. So if you're just buying one design, you can also get the extra little bit for the print on demand license, and it's really not very much. In most cases it was only a couple of dollars extra to get usage for print on demand, which is amazing. Or you can get a subscription license, which is what I have, and I would recommend having a subscription to these guys if you're downloading a lot of stuff. So what are you allowed to do? So obviously you're allowed to create unlimited physical end products. So if you print this out, put it on a mug, print out 20,000 of these and take them to the markets, good to go. Unlimited digital end products, good to go. Create your own designs that you sell on print-on-demand sites. Asterisks. Let's go and have a look. So that's the basic terms, and then the physical end products, obviously you're allowed to do stuff. What you're not allowed to do is modify or create new designs after your subscription ends. So you can only create the products while you have an active subscription. Digital end products. Sorry, more Domino's stuff. Everyone wants me to have pizza. I don't know why. I don't want pizza. Use Element to create a new design. So you can use the elements to create a design, etc. What are you not allowed to do? Digital end products, you're not allowed to create products that compete with the original product. So you cannot bundle designs and sell it as a new product. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And for your basic digital end products, what you're not allowed to do is take an individual element, shove it on a card, and sell that as a digital thing. What you can do is blend it to create a digital thing, and that's fine. And that's where I was having the wanted to check out with the owners of Creative Fabrica, and they were very helpful. Okay, so print on demand usage. Okay, so if you've got something that you're allowed to use for print on demand. Okay, basic pod products, you are allowed. What are you allowed to do? So you are not allowed, if it's just a basic pod, you're not allowed to upload the original design exactly as is on a mug. You are allowed to change it significantly and then use it on print on demand. And then the other one, if you have the full print on demand and pod usage, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to create and upload designs to the print on demand sites that are the same or similar as the original. So that means that you would be allowed to sell that as it is, or with a minor changes. You don't have to do massive changes. You can generate unlimited sales via pod sites, pod products worldwide. The only thing you're not allowed to do is keep selling those full pod files without modification after your subscription ends. So you're allowed to keep selling the ones that you've modified a lot, but it's just something to take into consideration that if you have not changed those designs, you're not allowed to keep selling that design after your subscription ends. So that's a fairly key point, and I'm not worried about embroidery. And then there's a lot more interesting stuff there as well. But like I said, in the rundown, Creative Fabrica allows, in some cases, print-on-demand usage, and also print-on-demand usage where you have not modified the product very much. So, I've been doing a lot of print-on-demand recently, so I guess I've been using Creative Fabrica a lot more than I have Creative Market. Now, another way, I said I was going to include a little section on, ways around these sorts of things. One thing I have done, and that is I have gone to the original designer itself. So there are some products that are only available over on here. Let's just switch back to just me. Okay, anyway, right. Excuse all the mess in the background. I've just realized how filthy it is. I'm painting at the moment, so, well, while I'm not on talking to you guys. Okay, yeah, so some tips and tricks and things that I have done. So, particularly on Creative Market, I have actually gone and found the original designers. So all of the designers, on these big group sites like Creative Fabric and Creative Market often have their own websites where they make sales, because they get 100% of the profits from that. Whereas when they sell their products on, say, Creative Fabrica and Creative Market, the designers themselves obviously only get a portion, because they are giving a small amount of money to, well, I don't know how much it is actually, towards, to Creative Market and Creative Fabrica, or whoever it might be, for hosting their designs. So they get a lot more sales through those sites, but they lose a little bit of their profit. But if you go to their website, and it's often obvious, how to find them. Sometimes they tell you what their website is. If you go and talk to them individually, there have been a couple who have different licensing terms on their own websites than they do have on the combined sites. And sometimes it's cheaper. Yeah. So There is one or two that I have gone and I have got free access, well not free access, I've paid for it, access to all of their products, everything they have ever made, and for one price, and everything in the future that they will make, and I've got different licensing terms or whatever it might be from them. So if there's something you really want to use, don't buy it if you don't buy it from somewhere where you don't have the right license. Go to the website and ask the designer individually. Make sure though, what you don't do is download it from one site, realize that another site has it for a different license under different terms, and think that's okay to use, because it's not. If you've downloaded it from the site that has the less useful license for what you want to do, and then you go to another site and say, I'm allowed to use it for print on demand from that site, and think, oh, that's fine, I can use that. No, you can't. That's not allowed either. Make sure you have the right license. Okay, so that was something that I was like, oh, I've purchased all this stuff that doesn't have a license. I'm going to have to repurchase it. Thankfully, it's actually available over on Creative Fabrica for my subscription. So that was really good. I was able to re-download, I guess, from Creative Fabrica for no extra money, and ended up with the products that I had anyway that I had paid for. So that was good. And as I said, you can also go to the website itself. So in a nutshell, I guess it's kind of answered the question from the beginning of the video. I, at the moment, have been using Creative Fabrica a little bit more than Creative Market. Both websites are excellent. They both have fantastic service. Creative Market perhaps has slightly better quality designs, and probably slightly less of the riff-raff at the bottom. Mostly because their application is for slightly maybe higher end products, I don't know. But they still have a lot of the bulk in the middle is extremely similar quality and quantity and range. Maybe actually Creative Market has a slightly better range. There is sometimes I can't get what I need on Creative Fabrica, and I've had to go over to Creative Market and pay that little bit extra for. But, you know, yeah, they're both fairly much of a muchness in that regard. Creative Fabrica, you still have some of those really beautiful top end designs. You probably have a little bit more filtering through some of the it's not the fact that they are not good quality, it's just that they're not as exciting, because they're little icons and things that are designed for things that perhaps you wouldn't need if you're going to Creative Market for. So perhaps there's that. Then there's the licensing issues between the two sites. So Creative Fabrica, for me, Creative Fabrica has the better license terms. Creative Market, for some of the things I do, is fantastic, and sometimes of course I use them as well. Service, as I've said, is both excellent. I do like the collections and the website flow of Creative Market better than Creative Fabrica, but that's okay. Creative Fabrica does have the option of downloading your licenses, and you can see a list of all your licenses and things there too, which is really excellent. So I guess that comes to the end of the video. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm not going to answer individual licensing terms and things between them. Go and talk to the websites themselves about those. I'll try, but obviously I can't give you, legal advice about those, because I'm not the license provider. But what I can tell you is to go and check it yourself. That's a really important thing to go and do. And happy designing. And it would be amazing if you're going to sign up to, Creative Fabrica, click the link below, because then I get a little bit of extra, kickback from them. No cost to you, but it's great for me. Anyway, let's see you in the next video, and I'm hoping to be doing some actual fabric creation videos coming up. So I am going to go through the entire process to holding the fabric in my hand and showing you. So that's what I'm planning on doing next. Anyway, have a lovely day, and I don't know, it's cold today. I don't want to go anywhere. I might just stay home and paint. Anyway, thanks guys. See you later.